Joining me now is Ross Beaty. He's the chairman of Equinox Gold, the founder and chairman emeritus of Pan American Silver, the founder of Lumina Group, and he's also the founder and large shareholder, the largest, in Luminex Resources. How are you, sir?
I'm well, thank you.
Okay. Again, I'm out of breath. Yeah. All right, but you've done so much, we want to acknowledge it. So I've talked to two of your management people, Scott and Leo, about the high-grade Condor North in Ecuador, and you've been doing some drilling. You're continuing to prove out the resource. So can you give us a snapshot?
Sure. I'm going to start with what is Luminex and why is it there? And we started with Lumina Gold, which had a big deposit in Ecuador and a whole pile of ground outside of that. And what we did, because we're trying to sell Lumina Gold, is we spun everything else out into Luminex, ex-Lumina, and also more the exploration vehicle for what we were doing in Ecuador. So Lumina focused on one deposit, and it's all it has, the Cangrejos deposit, and Luminex got everything else. So it got a whole pile of stuff. It got a huge low-grade, really low-grade gold resource, millions and millions of ounces, in southeastern corner of Ecuador. It had a whole bunch of ground all over the place in Ecuador, pure grassroots ground that we pegged, we staked. And then over the last sort of 5 or 6 years, we have joint ventured a lot of the exploration ground we have in Ecuador to major companies. We had JVs with Anglo American, BHP, Vale, Glencore, Japanese company called Jonknek, big companies. And we still have a number of those. But in the middle of all of our gold area that we own 100% of, we actually found a vein that we started to drill and had some really good results on. So we said, we're going to keep that to ourselves, make that the focus of the company, drill it and see what we can find there, and see if we can find the target for that company is another Fruta del Norte. Fruta del Norte is a phenomenal gold deposit owned by Lundin Gold. And they're producing 500,000 ounces a year from that right now. It's been a massive success, and we're trying to find another one of those in exactly the same rocks, just about 100 kilometers south of Fruta del Norte. So that's our target. It's a big reward, certainly risky, but in the last couple of years, we've actually proven up some really exciting stuff that I'm thrilled to be involved with this company, and I'm looking forward to more great results.
So you've got the Camp deposit, and You're working on the Cuyes West.
Yes.
And I know management and actually a Red Cloud analyst agree that you may be looking to be able to coalesce those two underground and have an underground mine. Is that the plan? Is that what you think?
Yeah, for sure. We did a big study on the economic potential of it's a huge, incredibly mineralized area, gold mineralized area, the whole region. And we did a big study of, well, what would it look like at a snapshot in time to build a mine on it today? Partly open pit, partly underground. The costs were high because we just didn't have enough ounces. So we stepped back and said, let's drill some more. Mid-year last year, we discovered a brand new vein, the Cuyes vein. Nobody had ever known it before. It's a high-grade vein. It's right beside the Camp vein that we drilled the year before, and the two of them together now will make a really solid underground target. And of course, as you know, underground mines are much less impactful on the environment. They're quicker to build, much like Fruta del Norte was. It's an underground mine. I love underground because you can get in and you can do a lot of work, and high grade is necessary. We've got high grade, so that's kind of what I'm looking forward to. But the story is early days. I mean, we could have 3 or 4 more of these veins quite easily. I don't even know whether it's even worth doing a resource today because we're still finding more with every single drill hole. We've got some more results coming that'll be good.
Ross, you mentioned the joint venture partnership. So you've got Anglo American earn-in agreement. It's the Pegasus Copper project. Right. They're going to spend something close to $60 million over 7 years. They could own 70%. So tell us what's exciting about that.
Well, it's the same as 2 or 3 others we've got going, where you have majors coming and spending their money on our assets, taking the big risk out, making the discovery, and then having enough left over to be able to finance and share the success. So it's just early stage. They're starting to drill right now, and we'll see what happens. We've had this happen several times before with no results. By the way, we had majors acquire ground from us, drill it, and drop it. And that's always possible. But of course, the majors only get into projects that they think there's giant upside, something that'll move the dial for them. Anglo's, whatever it is, a $40 billion company. So anything that they find on our ground and keep is going to be pretty exciting. That's why they're there. They're looking for a giant target.
Right. Now, your colleague Scott Hicks told me that he thinks that the stock, Luminex Resources, is kind of in a show-me state right now. What do you think? What do you think about how the market is perceiving the story?
Well, Luminex is in this basket of junior gold explorers that are just super cheap. It's just one of those times today when there's not a lot of speculative money in the space. The money that's going into gold is coming from professional investors, typically gold lovers, but there's not very many of them, and it's going into the major companies and the mid-caps, companies that are producers or have a really exciting bigger play that's closer to people in, say, Canada or Australia. So Luminex is just in this group of companies that have great assets that are trading at ridiculously cheap prices. It really is that. That's why, for me, it's a very easy thing to say whenever we do a financing, oh, I'm there for 20% because I just love what we're doing. And it's sort of like Warren Buffett used to say, if a stock he loves gets cheaper, it's like a Christmas present. So that's kind of why it's on sale. Yeah. Everything's on sale. So, and I know this isn't going to last. If we get a little bit of generalist money coming into the gold space, it'll come into this junior space, and all of a sudden things will double, and everybody will say, "Oh, I should have bought in early March 2023," but coulda, woulda, shoulda.
Well, exactly, and you've seen so many cycles since going back years, right? So
how it always is.
We should be listening to you.
You should be listening. Yeah. You should be not so much listening to me. Don't listen to me. Look at the results. Look at the actual drill results this company's coming out with. Look at analysts like Red Cloud analysts who've been to the property. They know the game. Those are the guys who are making the calls, not people who are armchair experts who've never been down there, who are 10-second blitz in an elevator, and they're trying to tell you to buy or to sell something. That's not the kind of person I would listen to.
And just lastly, Luminex did just recently raise 12.5, as you know. You put in 2.5, so just so you know that as well. Well, great to find out more about Luminex Resources. Thanks as always, Ross.
Thank you.
Ross Beaty, founder of Luminex Resources.